Hello, this is Adam from Scan Pro Audio here with another Roland V-STAGE video. I'm joined, as always, with Andy from Roland, and we're going to look today at the electric piano section of the Roland V-STAGE. So, where do you want to start?
Yeah, so electric pianos are really, really important in popular music.
Of course.
Have been for many, many decades. One of the big feedback points that we got from in developing the V-STAGE when sort of consulting with a lot of players, a lot of artists, is they wanted their own dedicated section for electric piano. Often in a lot of keyboards, you're giving it
in with piano, isn't it?
You're giving a piano section, and so it's quite nice that we've been able to give it its own space and give it kind of the attention that it deserves, really, which is really, really nice. Similarly to the acoustic piano section, we've also got quick controls for splitting and also for shifting octave up and down and setting its own key touch range. And I think one thing that's quite nice as a little nice touch is that we can set a separate key touch for acoustic piano and electric piano. Because it's got a different feel, And then sort of looking at what we've got in the section here, we've got tone selection, which we'll have a quick look at. And then it also has its own dedicated effect section. So we have one multi-effect, a tremolo, and also an amp sim. But talking about the sounds to begin with, so this one is a 79 Tine EP. It's got a nice sound. There's a bit of kind of like mechanical noise going on, which is quite nice, which we'll talk about in a second. Like with the other sections, if I want to change sound, I can cycle through my favorites using this dial, but I can push the dial in, and then we've got access to quite a few types of Tine piano. So a silver top is like a late 60s kind of electric piano, and then many from the 70s and a Dino EP. And each one as well, has some additional
so you've got like a master
presets.
Category, so you've got Tine is the master, then you've got a subcategory, silver top, and then that has its own again subcategory of that, so you've got different versions of that
different presets.
Really clever and nice and easy and laid out very well. And the other thing is as well, I've noticed, as we've mentioned on previous videos, you've got a favorites category. So what you can do is you can assign your favorite EPs and put them in that favourites category. So the minute you switch on the instrument, you go to piano and you turn the knob, the first category it scrolls through is the favourites. So you've literally got a dial for your favourite sounds on every category instantly, which is really
and very easy to add it. If I like that silver top, I do shift, push enter, and then we've got our favourite on top. As well as the Tine pianos, we have Reed, which has got its own kind of like really nice vintage character, and also digital electric pianos. So models we call them from the RD1000 or the MKS20, some older products like that, where we had these we call them SAE pianos. For those kind of tones, and also clavinets as well, which are features of the different pickup configurations for. These have very different colors.
Very sound
with the wah. But picking sort of this one that we were working on, this 79 Tine EP. So one of the things I said we can pick up on is sort of like the kind of slight mechanical noise that we've got on here. So we have quite a few ways that we can control the sound. So starting on the front panel, we've got a detune control, which gives you a chorus kind of effect. And it's not really adding chorus, it's sort of detuning those tines. And then underneath it, this one is really nice for live performance, called Sound Lift. If you think about this as almost like an upward compressor. So a compressor normally takes the loud parts of a sound and pushes them down. This lifts up those lower ones. So if I sort of like this kind of thing, you can hear them coming louder, and I'm not adjusting how I'm playing. It's just sort of taking those lower volume notes and bringing them up. So in the context of a performance, it just, I suppose, evens out the dynamics if you're playing a little bit. And you don't have to have it all the way up, but just a little bit is quite nice. And if we jump into the editing menu, so a nice little shortcut on the V-STAGE is holding menu and this will take you quickly to wherever you need to be in the menu. So if I hold menu and press the on-off button, I go straight into
deep
the editing.
Right, okay.
You can access that by just sort of going into menu and finding electric piano and then edit. But I quite like having
because again, V-Stage, it's a live instrument. It's nice that you've got that. If you needed it in a live situation, you've got that immediately in your fingertips.
And this gives us, like the piano designer in the acoustic piano section, some deep editing. So this one, we can have our control over, say, the amount of bell tones. So this is put this all the way up. Adds a bit more attack to the sound. We talked about detune and sound lift. They have the controls on here.
Yeah.
But this is where you can get into the amount of mechanical noise. So if I crank up all these all the way to the top, you can sort of really kind of click that.
You've got damper noise as well, which can I turn that up?
Yeah.
Let's turn that up. Let's go for it. Let's make a. Oh, there we go.
So.
Yeah, that was definitely overkill there. But again, it's great that you can simulate that, and it's all there.
And similarly, the other way, if this is great having those vintage vibes, which over the time we've all sort of kind of grown to appreciate and love. But at the same time, those were seen as imperfections in the sound, and if you want, you can completely remove them and have a really clean electric piano.
But again, just talking about, like we mentioned on the previous video that we did where we talked about the acoustic piano section, it's character. A lot of people want that character now in their sound design, so adding this really does add character to the sound, and it's great.
100%. I'm just going to quickly reset the sounds.
Just before we move on, actually, just while you've reset the sound, it's just reminding me something that we have mentioned before, but I do want to mention it again, is don't forget that whenever you pick a preset, for example, we've picked this electric piano preset, you can clearly see the electric piano is lit up there, and the rest are all dark. What Roland have done is once they've selected a preset for you, they've also thought about what organ you might want to use while playing that sound, what acoustic piano you might want to play when playing that sound, and something from the synthesizer section, whether that be strings or pad or a synth sound or whatever. So even though the sounds aren't active, Roland have picked sounds that would work well with that sound. It's important to remember that. I know we're not talking about the other categories at the moment, but it is important to remember that going through the presets, generally select the other sections as well, just to see, because you'll find a really nice layered pad or something that you would never dream of selecting. So it's always important to check those out.
Yeah, 100%.
Sorry. So
no, all good.
Patch.
So we're back to our sound here. So let's talk about the effects. As I mentioned, we've got amp simulator, tremolo, and then also a multi-effect. So starting with the multi-effect on here, on the front here, we've got, it's listed as chorus, phaser, wah, things, but actually we've got a choice of about 90 different effects.
Wow.
So underneath it says shift and type, and this allows me to quickly go through this menu on here just to flick between, say, chorus and phaser. But again, if we use the menu shortcut with this takes us to the full editing menu where I can go and choose anything from, say, like a Juno 106 chorus, which gives you a really wide sound kind of things. Or you can have anything from flanges or phasers, which are really nice.
And obviously, once you've then got editing within it, so you can edit all of that effects as well.
Yeah, and it's great. So it gives you, as I say, a huge choice of sounds, and really allows you to sort of build upon what you're doing. With the MFX as well, this is a nice little bonus thing, I think, is that you've got the choice of where you position that effect, whether it's before or after the amp sim.
Right.
So certain effects, particularly if you're using a bit of drive, a phaser, for instance, will sound different if you're using it before
or post. Yeah, absolutely.
Before, so you can flip that around, which is quite good.
And the other thing is obviously once you've selected the sound, you've edited it in whichever way that you want, you've added effect, you've picked the effect, you're ready now, you can then store that obviously as your own preset, and even favorite it as well, as we mentioned earlier, which is really important.
Which is really nice. And the tremolo effect as well is, you can sort of see on the front on here, it gives us a couple of options of either a suitcase style tremolo, a whirly, or the type from the RD. Again, if we push menu and go into the tremolo menu, we've got a choice of
loads of different
quite a few different ones, but also controls over the rate and the depth and the shape of it as well, and if it's synced to the tempo, which is quite nice. And then for our amp simulator, same kind of approach really, is that we can either just sort of quickly dial some drive in straight over here to get that those kind of vintage sort of chunky kind of tones. Sorry, I've just left on our delay from earlier on. Let me just turn this off. Sorry. And we'll go back here. So kind of gritty tone.
Yeah.
But you can choose again for different types of amps. So from a line.
So I do. Let me play it. I like. I mean, it's. It's really user friendly, isn't it? Yeah,
just nice and easy to just nice and easy to dial in your tones really, which is good. And then we've got controls over level and pan, its own EQ as well, and options for MIDI. We were mentioning in another video that we've done about main stage. You can put in program changes on here, or not just even main stage. If you've got any device like a module or something connected that is MIDI capable, you can put in program change messages on here, so that when you change scene on the main stage, it'll select other sounds as well.
Really clever. And just to recap, we've done all those changes, we've made a sound, we've turned up the amps in, we've blah, blah, blah. How do we save it? What do we do?
So we just hit right and we choose where we're saving it. So everything is saved within a scene on this one. So we create a scene and we find the location that we want to save it. Say if I want BB2, and then I press enter. I can rename it.
So you can give it a name if you wanted to and all that, and customize it and make it your own. And then, of course, once you've done that, you can then make it a favorite, and then it appears in your favorite list.
And if you want to, if you're creating a scene, so for instance, let's say you think, all right, I really like this electric piano. I really like how it's set up. And then I'm working on my own scene. So I've got an initial scene here. So I've got everything. And I think I really want to bring in that electric piano. So when I go to my tone select on here, at the bottom of the screen, I've got this option to import from another scene. So I can go shift over here and I can find
that one,
which was 79 EP, press enter. And now that's pulled that piano sound from that other scene with all of the settings and effects and just loaded it into here. So that's quite a nice way of, like, if you've got, as I say, you've got something in a scene and I really like how it's set up and everything like that, you can just pull all of that information from another scene and sort of kind of paste it into the new one that you're working on, which is pretty good.
Cool. Love it.
But yeah, that's a quick sort of deep dive.
Have you got any favourite sounds in that sort of electric piano that you like?
I mean, again, I really like the reed sound, me personally. As I mentioned before, I'm more of a synthesizer player than I am a piano player. I'm sorry. So, but I do really like the.
It's very authentic. The sounds are great.
I really like the whirly sound, and another thing actually, which is quite nice about this, is the tremolo that's from on a Wurlitzer. So it was a fixed thing. You didn't have any control, which apparently is 5.55 hertz.
Wow!
So that's what they've done as the preset on here. But you can tweak. You
can adjust it, which you couldn't do originally.
Yeah.
No, that's great. I mean, it sounds. I mean, it does sound really, really good. I mean, let's have a look. Let's go to, because I must admit I'm more of a sucker for more digital ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm. I'm of that era. So I mean, that's some of this. And again, you could, like you say, you could just literally bring in other parts because it knows what you're probably gonna do. You know what I mean? Layer it with a piano, and immediately you've got a really nice sort of. Yeah, it's great. I love it. Yeah. Sold.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
So thank you. Yeah, so that was a bit of a dive into the electric piano section on V-Stage. So don't forget, check us out on scan.co.uk for more information about the amazing Roland V-Stage. And don't forget, you can check us out on @Scan Keyboards on YouTube. And we have a little playlist there where we go into all the different sections on the amazing Roland V-Stage. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.